Hi there everyone, this is Kelly Gettlefinger with Always Stampin' Videos. Thank you so much for joining me and popping in on my YouTube channel. I really appreciate you being here and I really appreciate my subscribers, so thank you. Tonight I'm going to show you how to make another greeting card treasure book journal. This was the one that I showed you in my last video. It turned out so cute and I've got it all filled up. You can see a flip through of this journal on my Instagram, which is at the @ always_stampin', no G on the end. And so yeah, I love the way this one turned out. So tonight I'm going to show you how to make another one, how to put another one together, but this time the focus is going to be on utilizing my scraps from an entire pack of designer series paper from Stampin' Up. So typically this paper comes in packs of 12 by 12. Can't get it all in the camera, but there's usually two sheets of 6 designs, and so you've got lots of 12 by 12 paper, front and back designs. And so when I have used an entire pack, I am usually left with all these little pieces, and I do save all of it. So I have a little strategy for how to condense my scraps once they get to this point. Once I use the very last piece of 12 by 12 paper and it's gone, and then all I have left are these little scraps, I actually do have a strategy, and that's for another video. And if you want to see that video, then let me know and I'll make it. I do have it somewhere, but I'm not sure that it's on my YouTube channel. Anywho, I'm going to show you how to utilize these scraps to put together a greeting card treasure book journal. And so I love making these little journals, and it's just fun to put it together. But then if you're a journaler, it's really fun to journal as well. All right, so I have my pieces here that I've already picked out that I know I want in my book. I love how this paper, it just reminds me of a little boy or a man. I mean, you can make this journal for a guy, any age, but I love the masculine feel to this paper. And so I had a friend of mine look for some old antique sewing patterns, and you can actually visit her Instagram at canvasandclay.collective. So she was on the lookout for some old patterns for me, and this is the only masculine sewing pattern I have ever had. I think I might have some that were my mom's, but I don't want to part with those. So anyway, I just thought these would make the perfect match, and so I definitely wanted to include that in my book. And then I have a guest check, which is not old, and I could have tea-dyed it, but I actually like when I can combine old and new. That's just me. A lot of people like to tea-dye their junk journal items, but I actually like for mine to be old and new. And I do tea-dye sometimes, but I prefer old and new. So anyway, this was actually the page from a children's storybook, or maybe it's just, let's see, I don't know if it's a story. I actually have not read it. I think it's just an information book. But anyway, look how beautiful these papers, and I love the feel of this paper. So it's not like a magazine. It is actually like it's textured, and so it's very nice for writing, for journaling. And so yeah, with a little paint to cover up some of the words, you can easily write on the rest of the pages. So anyway, that's just something that I like to do. Maybe I'll make a video about that sometime too. So anyway, I trimmed these down to size, and I'll show you how I'm going to put those in my booklet as well. And then, like I shared in the previous video, I love using Webster dictionary pages, and so I thought this page, I just opened right to it. There's a little hammer image there. There's a hamster, and so I thought that would be very appropriate for this masculine little treasure book. And then, of course, I always have to add one of my cookie pages from an old cookbook that I found at, I don't know, a thrift store. The one thing that I would love if somebody could comment and let me know some ideas on what to use or what to do with the actual patterns. Like, I'm never going to use this pattern. I'm never going to make this pattern. And so I feel so wasteful throwing it away. So if you have some ideas on how to use this, I will show you what I came up with. And I don't know, I kind of like it. I'm not quite sold on it yet, but I will use it in this journal. But I took a strip of the pattern, and I decided to stitch it onto a piece of the designer series paper that I'll be using. And it kind of looks like a fabric ruffle. And then I just adhered a piece of ribbon down the middle. I could have stitched the ribbon on too, but it was a little tedious to do all three. So anyway, I don't know. Tell me what you think. Do you like it? Do you think it's cute? I don't know. I'm going to put it in the journal anyway. That's one of the fun things about making these little treasure books, is you can just really junk it up and put all kinds of treasures in it. What is one person's junk is another person's treasure, right? Okay, and then so I'm going to set aside my papers, and I'm going to bring in my designer series paper. And I'm just sort of going to, and this card was just a little bit of a remake from a card designed by Lori Rigo. So she is a swap sister of mine, and so she had the card going this way. She had this turned this way. So I just dissected it a little bit because I like for my books to open up side to side like this. So all right, so what I'm going to do here is just empty everything in my package and kind of show you my system for going through my designer series paper scraps for my treasure book journals. And then I will actually put it together and hope that this video isn't too crazy long, because I actually like making quick videos. I know your time is valuable, and I just don't want to take up too much of people's time. All right, and I like quick tips, quick ideas, and so yeah, I like making quick videos. All right, so the first thing that I do when I'm making the treasure book journals is I actually lay aside these tiny pieces. If they are shorter than 10 or 11, 12 inches, and they're thin, 1 to 2 inches, I actually set those aside, and I debate on whether or not to save them, because typically I don't use a lot of those, and so I may throw them out. Now this one here is about 6.5 inches by 2.5, so 2.5 by 6.5, and my booklet opened up actually will measure 8.5. Okay, so I could fold this and then kind of hold it inside my card to see how it would look once it's stitched in, and I kind of like that. I think it's shorter than the card, but I could definitely do something with that. So I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to keep it and just lay it aside. That's a keep pile. And this here, I don't know why, but I, for some reason, was probably showing someone this rounded corner here. This piece would make a good journaling card. I could round this corner here as well, and then still use it in my booklet to make a journaling card to stick in a pocket. So I am going to save that. Okay, and so this is what I was talking about here. This piece here is 12 inches. It looks like it's about 2 inches. Yes, it's 2 by 12. So I'm definitely going to keep that. And I love how the pattern is the same on both sides, so I will probably see, so if I fold it in half, it's going to be too long, but there are some fun things that I like to do with these, and so I actually think, and I will need it to be 5.5 inches this way. So this is 5.5, and then opened up is 8.5. So I think I'm gonna fold it, and I may end up trimming it. But what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna add it to a page so that it opens up this way. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. So I'm gonna save that. Now this one here looks like it's about 5 inches, so it's kind of short. It might make a good journaling card, but I'm not positive. So I'm gonna put that in the toss pile for now, and I'll go through the toss pile later and decide what to do. So like this is so little, it's toss. I've got some extra pieces that I've stamped and didn't use, so I like to keep those. Too little, toss, too little, toss, toss. We've got a lot of toss here for now. And when I say toss, again, I'll go back and I'll look through those again one more time and give them another good look through. This piece here is perfect. I love that it is probably like 8 inches. Yep, it's 8 inches, maybe 2.5, 3. Yeah, 3 by 8.5. So I will keep that. And I will probably use it as a page. I'm not positive because I love the way these trees right here are going in one direction. So I do like that. Would I use that? Like that maybe? I think I might. I'm definitely going to keep that though. It's definitely a good size. This is a great size. It's already squared almost like a 3 by 3. So I probably won't toss it completely, but I am not going to put it in my book. Okay, so here's another one that these trees are just, they're going in one direction. So I kind of want to utilize them in that direction. So I'm going to keep that because it's definitely big enough. These are both too little. These are all too small, all the leaves. And then I have some pieces that I've pre-punched for tabs, and I can talk more about that someday too. This would make a great journaling card as well, sort of like a bookmark, so I'll keep that. And then this one here would be a perfect page folded in half, because I'm pretty sure that looks like once it's folded, it's about 4.5. Yeah, 4.5, so I'll keep that. Okay, and then these pieces here are my, well, except for this one, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that one because it's already scored. So these pieces here are the remaining pieces of Designer Series paper after I have used my Designer Series paper for a journal. So I like to make my own journals, and they end up measuring like 4 3/4 by 6.5, and so that gives me 5.5 by 12 inch pieces. So these are all 5.5 inches, which is perfect for making these little treasure book journals. So the first thing that I do, and I will go ahead and do that with these, I'll show you what I do. So I fold these in half. I think what I want is I want that on the outside. And for example, this one I'm going to make pockets with this one. I'm going to make 2 pockets. So I like to fold in one side first, and then fold in the other side. So I've folded it in half, and then I'm folding them both outside edges into the middle, into the center. Okay, so it looks like that. And then what I like to do is I'll fold each outer corner into that scored area. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't measure it, I don't score it. And then I'm going to glue that down. I'm going to glue both of those corners down. And some people might say, oh, well, you could trim those off, but I don't like trimming them off because I'll show you why in just a minute. And then I'm going to add adhesive to just the outer edge and the bottom edge of this first panel, okay? And then I'll do the same thing with the opposite panel. Just the outer edge and the bottom edge. So then I'm going to fold these in, and those will be pockets that once I use this in my book as a page, I've got this cute little pockets, and you'll see how it all fits together in just a minute. But remember, I said I was going to keep this one because it looked like it was like a bookmark, like a journaling card. And so look how cute that is. That fits right in there. I would just trim it down a little bit. So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep that. And then I may actually super score that with a bone folder later. Okay, and then these last two, I think what I'll do is bring in my 12x12 trimmer. And since my pages are 4 1/4, I'm going to score this one at 4 1/4. And go ahead and fold it. And then I need to decide, like, do I want the other one as a pocket? Did I do 4 1/4? Yes, that's what I want, 4 1/4. I just wanted to make sure. And then the other side, I can either fold it in so that it flips out and just as a little flip out, or I can create a pocket. And I think I want to create a pocket. And so I'm going to score here at 4 1/4 also. And then I will fold that in. And then I could either fold it in like I did these and create a pocket, or I can just create a little corner pocket, and I kind of like doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a ruler to use as my guide, and I'm going to tear my page. So my pocket needs to go this way. So I'm just going to tear it here. Do I want it to go all the way down? You know what? I think I do. I think I want it to go all the way down. Okay, so I'm not getting that to tear. And everybody is like, okay, we're gone. Stick with me. Okay, yeah, so I just want that, yes, as a little corner pocket. Kind of have a little bit right there that could stand to be torn off more. And then I'll add adhesive here, just on this corner, to close that up. All right, so then that creates another couple of pages for my booklet. So I'll lay that over there. And then this one here is the one that I said, like, I want to just use it as a flip out. The only problem, can you believe that? My trees are going to be upside down, which is fine on one side. So I need 4 1/4 again. And again at 4 1/4. And instead of making a pocket this time, this is just going to be a little page that, or a little piece that has a little pocket, or a little page that flips out. And you'll see what I mean in just a minute. So once this is in my book as a page like this, it'll open up and then this will come out, and I can continue to use this page and this page as a little journaling piece. All right, so now I've got all of my pages, and I'm just going to bring back my pieces, and I'm going to start putting them together. So these pieces here, I do need to decide, like, I love this here, but then there's nothing really on this side, so I'm going to make that into a pocket. Hey, could you turn the light on, Noah? Thank you. All right, so I am going to create a pocket with this, and I'm going to do just like I did with the other pockets that I showed you. I'm going to fold this in, add a little adhesive. Thank you. And then add adhesive to the outer edge and the bottom edge. And then I'm going to fold it over, and that creates my pocket. And then this beautiful deer scene, I think that's going to be cute if that just comes out as, like I said, with the previous piece I just created, as just sort of a little flip out. Okay, so it'll be like this, and then you open it up and it'll flip out. And this will all come together in just a minute. You'll see what I mean. Now, I also love this piece here, so I want that as a flip out as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold that. And then I can create a pocket here because I love these little frog guys. So I'm going to fold that in and create my pocket. Oh, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to have to do that as a flip out because I don't want to cover up those little guys. Okay, so we're just going to go with that. All right, so now I have to decide how I want what and where. So the first thing that I usually like to see is I like to see my designer series paper. And I happen to like, I think I'll just go with this one. That's going to be the first page, so we'll go there. And then I like to go with a page that kind of sticks out a little bit. And so I love how, okay, so I need to trim this down a little bit. So let me do that really quickly. Because I like the way it sticks out on the top, but I don't want it to stick out on the bottom. So this has to be 4 1/4. So you kind of get the idea where it's up to you what you want to add. There's no right or wrong. It's going to be beautiful, whatever you decide. And it's really cute when you can kind of, you know, make it just sort of your own. Make it cute. Okay, so I like that, but I am going to trim it down just a little bit more. So give me just a sec and then I'll move on. All right. Now, for the most part, my pages will stick out some on the side, and I'm okay with that because I like for it to get big and bulky. I think that that's really cute, and then it just looks really loved. You've loved it a lot. So, all right, and so now I think I will add one of these guys. And then I'm going to add, I think I'll definitely, because look how cute that is with that, the frogs and the guys together. Make sure it's not upside down. It is upside down, but that's okay. We'll put them with the beaver on the other side. I do like to fold the guest checks in half, so I'm going to fold that so that it looks like that. A little shorter on one side. I'm not going to put it in just yet though. I'm going to bring in some more of the designer series paper scraps. So I like this one here. I think I'll go with that. It looks like it needs to be trimmed down a little bit though, so I will just trim that down to 4 1/4 folded so that I can go ahead and just trim through both pieces. Okay, so there we go. And so you can see this isn't nearly as long, and so I'm actually just going to center it up and put it there in that center area. So there we go, there's that. And then I think I will bring in, I think I'll bring in this other page here with the deer on it. And then my guest check. And I wonder what that would look like. So see, you can see I'm sort of figuring it out myself. I actually love that, how you can see the trees above and below the guest check. So I think I'm going to definitely leave that there like that. And then what do we have left over here? I don't want it to get too busy with too many patterns. So some of the designer series paper I've got to sort of lay aside. All right, and so then I think I want my dictionary to, okay, my son is being really loud. I hope that he's not in the video. He's talking to his friends online. So, okay, so I'm actually going to trim this down a little bit. And what I'm going to do is, I really like the way this is torn. I just ripped it out of the dictionary. So I am going to rip the page a little more by tearing it on the sides. And I'll just do it sort of evenly over here. I'm just eyeballing it. It's going to be about the size of the page. And then I know I need to trim it off the edge here. There we go. And I did make it sort of haphazard. I didn't want it to be a perfect tear, so. All right, and so I'll just put that in there like that. Okay, and then last page, I'll put this in the middle. I love the way that looks. I'm actually not crazy about the upside down trees on the inside, but I guess that's okay. I'll just figure something out for that. So you can kind of see how it's all snug, and now I have to decide how I want to, depending on how many pages you put in, can really determine the way you bind your book. And so for me, I have a long arm stapler that usually will go through about 40 pages. So the trick with my long arm is to figure out if if I've got everything centered. So what I like to do is just really pack it down, push it down, and then open it up. I'm pushing the seam together here in the center, and I will sometimes bind it or clip it, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just wing it and try my best to get it right. So I'm going to put that in. And sometimes it's a matter of getting to know your stapler to know if you've got it in the center there. That didn't feel like a great connection, which it's not, and that's fine. For the video's sake, I will go back and redo that, but for the video's sake, I'm going to keep going because I want to make sure that we get done with the video. So, all right. Yeah, so I'm a little off, which is fine. I will redo that. I don't have a problem with that. But once it closes, then see how cute it is. And then you just give it a little flip through, and you can start adding your embellishments. You can add photos. If a page is too busy for journaling, like this right here is the perfect place to journal, but this is kind of busy, then I just add some white paint and I journal on the white paint. It's perfect again for journaling. I would probably add a little white paint here, and then I've got my pocket here from my sewing pattern that I can put photos in, or I can put journaling cards. And so there's all kinds of fun things to do. These are just great for all ages. Little kids love to flip through them, and you know, big kids love to put things in them and save things. So here's that pocket page. Remember how I made that pocket page? And so my journaling card will go right in there, which now I can't find it, of course. Here it is. So see how that just fits right in there nicely. And so there you go. How fun. It's so much fun to make these. And it's, like I said, it's a great way to use up those designer series paper or decorative paper scraps. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and leave me a comment, subscribe, and say hello. And thanks for joining me. I hope you have a creative day. Bye-bye, everybody.